How surreal is this? Here we are.
It's really weird. We're up here on the wall.
I know. Well, I actually did like a drawing on a Post-it where I was like, there's not going to be an audience and it's just going to be us. Let's go like Blade Runner, big screen, little me.
I love it.
Good idea.
Thank you, Jamie. And Annie, I'm so excited to speak with you. I'm such a huge fan of your work and your and Kristen's, everything you put out into the world. And I want to ask, like, also where you two met and what the spark was, not only for Bridesmaids, but your collaborations and then this movie. Like, what is being a fly on the wall in that room like?
Oh God, that fly probably has some story. We met at the Groundlings years ago, and we just were like comedically drawn to each other, and you know, she makes me laugh more than anyone.
I think the person who makes you laugh is the missing piece. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been able to like date a man who isn't funny. And if I'm not, I guess it didn't work out after all. I'm single. So you catch what I'm saying. And speaking of like the missing piece, Jamie, it's like that Shel Silverstein where like the missing piece meets the big O and then they start rolling and they become this perfect circle that can roll. And you just fit right in like a little pea in the pod. Did it feel that way? It looks that way. It feels that way.
Like, I'm not going to pretend that I fit seamlessly into anything that Kristen and Annie create, because they're like geniuses. And I'm just happy that they left enough of a little sort of hole for this sort of Irish person to, like, I don't know, screw my way in and kind of like try to make sense of this insane world that they'd created, you know. And that was the joy of every day, like just trying to try to keep it together and be professional when you're faced with some of the silliest scenarios ever put to film. But that, you know, and B, just like try to make these two laugh. Like for me, it was like, forget about the bigger picture and the audience. It was just like, if I can like, you know, hang with these guys and make them laugh, then I feel like I'm doing my job. And
hang you do.
Just to chime in about Jamie, he did fit in seamlessly, and he's so funny. And then we just had the best time, and he was so game for everything.
Yes.
And yeah. I mean, it was one of the highlights of the experience for us. Just seeing him go, because he's so funny.
For sure. I got also a lot of different genres and tones for it. Was there anything you talked about as inspiration? You're from the Groundlings and you've got SNL. You've written a very like cohesive, you know, movie like Bridesmaids. What do you put in the blender when you're making a film like this?
Oh my gosh. We kind of talked about like, it's like Romy and Michelle meets Explain kind of thing. And just those sillier, that sense of humor that's very sort of absurd, like a Top Secret, you know. Oh, Gene, what was the other one that you said?
Naked Gun, Hot Shots Part 2.
So all the great Zucker brothers. Yeah, because it's true, Jamie, like, if they're pitching you the movie, you know, like, and you just come to play, like, whether it's you're breaking into song or there's also a sincerity. I love your character and what you chose to do with him.
I think that's what's nice with Edgar, because in a way, I feel like him in a way that, like, he's the sort of the... You know, there's a lot of fish out of water elements happening in this movie, but what's cool about Edgar is like he's coming and trying to behave a certain way and get a job done, but he gets swept up by the madness that he finds himself in with once he meets Barb and Star, and that's kind of what my experience is like. It's like me coming to be like, hey, I'm a like serious actor, but I'm in a comedy and I'm going to be serious, and then meeting Kristen and Annie and just being swept up in their nuttiness and just going with it, and that was the fun part.
It totally works. How are each and all of your children? Kristen, you have your 2 beautiful babies. How has it been? Babies in quarantine, which is semi-good timing, but also very difficult.
Yeah, it's a weird time because they can't see human beings at all. And when they do, they're just like, they don't. It's like the Truman Show. I feel like they're just going to come out in the world and be like, there's more. Yeah. But they're really good. They're the best. They're juicy and amazing.
And Annie, how is your family in quarantine and during this time?
Oh boy. I have a 14 and a 10-year-old, and I'm yelling a lot at them. And they're taking it all in stride. It's so hard when they're this age because they're just more aware of everything that's like what was before and what's now, and the isolation. It's very difficult, and I just think like these kids are really champions, right now for all these kids. We got to root for them because it's tough.
I think that is so well said. And Jamie, you have 3 kids. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's just the madhouse, and I feel like the last 11 months, I've had some of the best moments I've ever had as a parent, and some of the worst. I think like most parents feel like that.
Oh my God, I'm really glad I asked you guys that, because between the Truman Show and the Keeping It Real and the highest and lowest, it just is perfectly poetic and apt. Now, there's so many things I want to ask you guys, but we're about to go to commercial break, and do you mind if I just kick this into high gear and we ask a few questions before the break?
Sure, go.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, before the break. Okay, Kristen, if you could be one kitchen appliance, what would it be?
A large spoon.
Ooh.
Not quite a ladle, but just like one of the bigger ones.
Roger that. Jamie, do you think there's life on other planets?
Probably more life than on our planet currently.
Oh. See, there's that heart and humor. I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's true. Annie, what's your go-to midnight snack?
A gallon of ice cream.
Lately, that's been my go-to too. And then Lee Harris just had to put me in a larger size pant, so that's where that leads.
Same here.
Okay, Jamie, what's your go-to shower song?
Oh God. No, don't say it. I get musicals. I get very musical. Mine's like, it's probably Send in the Clowns, Stephen Sondheim. There we go.
Oh,
that's a sad, beautiful song, Jamie.
It's sad. I like to start my day with total sadness. Build from there, yeah.
Kristen, what's your favorite place to be stuck in traffic in Los Angeles?
By the beach? Yeah, Pacific Highway.
Annie, where's your favorite place to get stuck in traffic in Los Angeles?
Nowhere.
I know, I'm with you. I hate traffic. It's my Achilles heel. It takes me down to like an unevolved, awful person. And finally, Jamie, what's your favorite place to be stuck in traffic?
I'm going to say the Wendy's on Sunset.
Yes, yes, a fast food drive-through.